Welcome back. Hey, welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Pogo Bros. My name is Beebs, and I know it's been a hot minute since my last video, and I didn't think it would be right to end this season without a proper send-off on the Delightful Days installment of Pokemon Go. And today, I think it would be it wouldn't be right if I didn't do a video on a Pokemon with a moveset that I don't think got any attention from any content creators this season. I'm talking about Surf Raichu, Kanto Raichu that is. And it's going to be a fun video. I lost a lot of elo, so don't replicate this team. And, we're going to start a new season anyway, so there's not going to be any reason to want to. But anyways, I've got a little fun set of videos with you with Rank 1, Level 51 Best Buddy Raichu, as well as Rank 1 Golisopod. And then I've got a couple other rank 1s involved, including Donphan and then Kanto Electrode. So it's all rank 1 today. It's a lot of fun, but they're just not cut out for Ultra League, but they're, it's going to be a good time. So let's just get into these battles, why don't we? All right. In the lead matchup, we got Shadow Steelix. Great matchup for our Golisopod, except for the fact that they're running Thunderfang. Next season, they're going to maybe want to run Dragon Tail, who knows? But anyways, we're going to go ahead and tank this move right here, and we're going to go ahead and switch out into our Raichu now because we resist the Thunderfangs, and then they come in now with a Gastrodon, and they shield up the Trailblaze here, which is unfortunate, but we do get another one off before they throw a move, and they're going to let that one through, and that does massive double super effective damage. They have to throw energy in order to take us out. Unfortunately, it does take us out. I thought maybe we would be able to survive, but that's okay. But now we're in a good matchup here with our Golisopod here. We can tank any move that they throw, and they come in now with a Drifblim. So hopefully they let this move through right here. They do, but with these double resisted mud slaps, it's going to be an uphill battle. We have to shield anything and everything from now on. They lower our attack with the Icy Wind, so now we're going to go ahead for this Play Rough here. And they let it through, doing quite a bit of damage, so maybe we have a chance here. We're going to go ahead and shield up the Icy Wind because we have to. Our attack now is double debuff, but that gives us a bigger farm down on the Gastrodon here. And they come in out with the Steelix. We were throwing right away just in case it was the Drifblim. We could have gotten in an extra Mud Slap. And we're going to go ahead and throw this move now here, raising our attack back up to baseline. And we go ahead and get a big catch on the Golisopod, so we don't clear any debuffs since it was this. We boosted our attack the same amount that we were debuffed here. But the fast move pressure from the Drifblim is going to be too much, and they get that win. GG's. See what I'm saying, guys? These battles are not the usual wins that you're used to seeing, but still, there's some good ones in here, so bear with me. Anyways, they're staying in with their Feraligatr here, which is a curious play because, okay, maybe we don't resist all their movesets. They are running Crunch, which is very atypical, but they come in now with a Guzzlord here, and as you can see, we're running Skull Bash now. I was tinkering with the movesets here because it was just not working, and I'm just trying to get any sort of good battles for the content here. And they had to throw a move to take us out, though, which is fantastic. So now we can one shield here, get this farm down, and we have a lot of energy now going into what is their Galarian Weezing. So hopefully they let this through, and they let it through, and that is perfect because we need fast move pressure with the Mud Slaps. They switch out, realizing that they made a mistake, but that's okay because we use our shields, and they top left because they realize that they're not going to be able to handle our Donphan before we farm them down with the Mud Slaps. GG's. Moral of the story, use your shields, guys. That's what they're there for. Anyways, we go ahead for this X-Scissor now into the Cradilly, which is a fantastic matchup for us so long as we have shields, and we do, and we are using them. So our attack is debuffed here, but we're able to get this X-Scissor off, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Paired up with these Fury Cutters, it's going to do a lot of fast move pressure. We caught the move on our Donphan now, so we're able to get this move now into the Shadow Dusknoir, actually winning CMP tie, which I did not expect, by the way, especially since we have a rank 1 Donphan, but we go ahead and get that through. Our boosted Mud Slaps get them down into the yellow, borderline red. This is going to be a tricky matchup, though, because we do not do any fast move pressure with our Fury Cutters, so it's just up to Raichu now, and we do get to this move right here. We're going to go ahead for the Trailblaze to boost our attack, but that doesn't matter because our Thunder Shocks will not be able to take them out. We're going to go ahead and shield up the Rock Tomb, and then we go ahead for the snipe right there. So they have a Tinkaton in now, which is very interesting because you have to XL this thing in order to get it in the Ultra League. So that is a lot of eggs that they hatched, or a lot of rare candies, rare XL candies that they invested into their Tinkaton. But anyways, they come back in now with the Dust Noir, and we do not want to take any more shadow moves from them. We go ahead and take them out, and they have to throw a player up here to take us out. They go for the Bulldoze. We survive it and switch out immediately. And the question is, can we survive this Bulldoze? Yes, we can. There we go. On minimal HP, getting them low, and we take each other out, but we have the Golisopod chilling in the back for that win. GG's. Okay, so Surf did do its job right there. And also, you found out today that Raichu can survive ground moves. Granted, non-stab from a Tinkaton, but we'll take it. Absolutely. Anyways, matchup here with the Jellicent. We call the Surf Bait, which is amazing. We would not tank a Shadow Ball very well, even though we are ranked level 51. But we go ahead and get the move off, and they let it through, and we're going to go ahead and shield this up now that our Thundershocks are doing boosted damage, and they come in now with a Swampert here. Do they let this through? They do not. But can we get to another move before they Mudshot us down? Yes. And do they let this one through? They do not, but it was a CMP tie, which we did win, so Raichu did more than did its job right there. We're going to come in out with the Golisopod here. Fantastic matchup. We're not even going to let them throw a Sludge or a Sludge Wave, which I've seen in one of my matches. Taking them out, and they've got a Virizion, a shiny one at that. Very cool shiny. We can... Unfortunately, they're running Leaf Blade. I was hoping maybe it was a Sacred Sword, Stone Edge type of deal, but we're going to go ahead and throw this Play Rough, getting them in the red, and they're going to have to throw a move to take us out here. Oh, they go for the switch, but that allows us to get to the Trailblaze, taking out the Jellicent. That Mud Slap will do very, that'll be very good for us because we just need to farm this thing down. Calling that they don't have the Stone Edge or reached it right there, getting that win. GG's. All right, we have a Galarian Moltres in the lead. This is not really what we want to see, especially if it's lined up against the Donphan. So we're going to save swap into the Raichu, see what they want to do. Catching the Fly, and then they have a Credilli now. There's lots of Credillis in Ultra League right now. Actually, these videos were done about a month and a half, 2 months ago, but the story remains the same. You're seeing a lot of Credillis. And we're going to go ahead and get this Trailblaze off right here, forcing them to throw energy. And do we shield this? No, we do not. We're going to let it through. Coming in now with the Golisopod here, shielding once, and then going for an ambitious Fury Cutter down. Realizing we can't get there in time, we're going to go ahead and throw here so we don't invest our last shield. They shield up in the process, which is fine, because we can go ahead and safely shield this and get that farm down. And they opted not to switch out. And then they have their Moltres here, but we have a lot of energy here. We are double debuff, but they give us their shield, and we outpace them to the next move even. Will this take them out? No, but the Fury Cutters do take them out. They were clean on energy since we made that catch, and they have now a Tentacruel in the back. And I think we're looking pretty good here because I don't think a Scald will take us out from full HP, especially since we're rank 1, but let's see how much this does. Hey, we tank it, not even getting in the red. Finally in the red after these fast moves from the Tentacruel, but we've done plenty of damage before they take us out, and then we Fury Cutter them down for the win. GG's. All right. Speaking of, Tentacruel in the lead now, so we're going to switch out now into the Raichu, and they have Gastrodon here. This would be a really good time to have Trailblaze, but we're going to go ahead and throw this Skull Badge right here. They shielded up anyway, so it doesn't matter. It does prompt them to throw, so that way they don't take another Skull Bash. We actually survived this Body Slam, but they do take us out with the subsequent Mud Slap. Now we are in this really good matchup right here to where we can overfarm considerably. But they have a lot of energy, mind you, so we're going to take a few Body Slams. And we are going to throw on good timing right here, getting this Aqua Jet through and seeing what they want to do. They do get another Body Slam, which is annoying here. But, we're going to have a lot of energy coming out of this matchup. Now we're coming in with the Donphan here. They switch out into a Guzzlord. And do they know about the Play Rough? Nope. Look at that. One-shot them. Let's go. Coming in now with the Gastrodon, maybe that was a misclick, but they gave us extra energy now so that we can begin to Trailblaze boost our Mud Slaps here. They're going to have to shield this. They do not. They are in shambles right now, so we're going to go ahead and shield up this Acid Spray, which is diabolical, but They are running out of health, and we can safely shield this move right here. I didn't want to get scalded after that. I don't care if we use both of our shields. We got that win. GG's. All right. We got a Florges in the lead here. Safe swapping into the Raichu now and seeing what they want to throw. It is only a Trailblaze, so that leads me to believe they're going to stay in this matchup, which is totally fine because we can go ahead and get this Skull Bash off. Doing massive damage on a CMP tie. We're going to go ahead and shield this up because they did boost up their attack, even though we boosted our defense. I want to preserve this alignment right here if we can take this mid-game matchup. They let it through, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Okay, yes, because we're able to get to the Surf right here and finally get a Water-type move on a Fire-type. They shielded up. Okay, so good job, Raichu. But now, more importantly, we have the Donphan lined up on the Skeledirge here. They go for a Shadow Ball, does about half of our health, doesn't even get us in the yellow yet. But they switch out, and suddenly we are looking really good right here because we're going to resist the Sparkling Arias. And if they're running, unless they're running Skull Bash, we're going to see. Oh, they are. So we're just bashing heads at this point into each other. And that, I really wish I shielded that up. But they're going to have to throw a move here to take us out. And okay, we do shield that up. I think this was probably a mistake right here. I tried to bank a move right there and get them down low, but they still had energy for a Sparkling Aria, and they take us out with the Psywave. GG's. Yeah, critical mistake was not shielding that Skull Bash, but it was still good for the content because probably more of the unlike one. Okay, not even making sense right now. You've got Lapras, which you're used to having Skull Bash, but you're not used to seeing a Raichu with Skull Bash, ironically also having a Water type move as the other charge move. So little tee-hee moment. But anyways, they got a Bewear, and what is that on my screen? We have energy for the Hyper Beam, and they are not expecting a Hyper Beam. They think we're going to resist everything, and we do massive damage on this pink lemonade looking kommoo here, and now we come in with a Raichu here. So we're just going to have to tank this. Clanging Scales, survive on 1 HP, switching out now into the Golisopod here. If they have Rock Slide, I'm going to never play this game again. They only have Night Slash, so sorry for you guys. I'm still playing the game. We're going to go ahead and get this Aqua Jet now, taking a shield. We are in a very dire situation, though. We got to shield this now because the next Night Slash will get us very low. We're going to throw on good timing right here. They can't afford to take this Aqua Jet, so they're going to shield it up. And we get the catch. A critical catch. And they don't boost, luckily. And they try to go for a catch. But this is good because we can overfarm just enough before that last Dragon Tail registers. Taking out the kommoo. Having the Aqua Jet ready for the Pangoro. Let's go. Getting that Pan dub right there. Let's go. Alright. And you see we won. And I don't know why I included the ranking in there. As you can see, my elo dropped so much. Some of these battles you see in the 2400s. Right now my elo was sitting at about like 2640. And then lag came through and dropped me back down to the 2500s. So I don't think Expert is in the cards this season. But I did tell Niantic and they gave me a premium braid pass, or at least they said they did. I'm going to take their word for it because I have nothing else as a matter of recourse. But anyways, we're going to go ahead into this next matchup, and we do get these nice foul plays off on the Giratina here, catching this move, guaranteeing that it's not going to be an ancient power. I can certainly tank that Dragon Claw very well. They give us a shield actually, which is very nice, and they come in now with their own Golisopod right here. And we get them down into the yellow, forcing them to throw a move in order to take us out, which is fine because now we can go for this nice little farm down with Raichu, getting it before they get to the next Aqua Jet. And now we're going to take this Dragon Claw right here. We tank it pretty well. I mean, we are maxed out on our stats right here. Taking them out with the Surf, there we go. And they have a Cobalion now, so we're definitely going to do some very non-memorable neutral damage right there. But anyways, we do shield up the Sacred Sword, getting the catch on the Electrode, but the opponent makes a game-saving undercharge right there because now they have enough energy to outpace us. Well, we did get them low with the Surf, but unfortunately they're going to get there on the next double kick, taking us out. Unfortunately, GG's. That could have been a fun one to win, but you know, it was close enough to where we kept it. Anyways, we are in this matchup now with looks like a bullet punch. Scizor, luckily not running Fury Cutter. They go for the Night Slash, and I don't know if they boosted or not, but since we CMP tied, I'm going to assume they did, you know, just because the game doesn't like me. Anyways, they come in now with their Galarian Moltres, and we're just going to go straight for this Play Rough right here. Letting it through, doing massive damage, so now I can just get away with, let's see if I even shield this. I do shield this. I'm just going for straight Trailblaze right now, knowing that they have to shield anything and everything. They do shield it up, and they throw a move. So this is actually not bad at all. They're forced to drain their energy. They're down in the red, and we can get a nice farm down before they get to their next flying type move. Oh yeah, we're running Charm on our Raichu right now. I was getting desperate. They actually had Iron Head, which is pretty funny. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and throw our double resisted Break into the Giratina. They do not shield it, and they take us out with the Dragon Breaths. But those Charms, after they were debuffed, were pretty cool to see. But I don't think it was enough. They do let this through, and they do farm us down for the win. GG's. Saving a shield, flexing on us, but you know, at least we went down in style. Anyways, we are in this matchup now with the Florges here, and they go for Trailblaze. Florges users love to use Trailblaze, which is kind of nice since I don't have to worry about Moonblast as much. But anyways, this next Trailblaze will hurt, so I'm definitely going to shield it up. And now I'm going to throw in good timing right here, seeing what the opponent wants to do, whether they want to preserve their buffs. They do. So what we're going to do now is get to this next move, and this looks like it might be a CMP tie actually. So the opponent decides to shield it, and at this point Golisopod has done its job. We're going to go in now with the Donphan, hoping to farm them down, but the game operated as intended. They did not lag at all, so they do get off that Trailblaze, and they have a shiny Galarian Moltres. Very cool, and I'm really wishing I had a electric move on my Raichu right now. But anyways, we do get to the Trailblaze here, and this will boost our attack. Does it take out the... Yes, it does take out the Feraligatr, but we don't get a Charm through, which is very catastrophic. We needed that one boosted Charm's worth of damage, because this will do a lot right here. They go for the Fly as opposed to the Brave Bird. And at this point, I think my win condition is to go for a Trailblaze and then get to hopefully a Play Rough, but it does not happen, and we fall just short. I might have gone for the Play Rough if our Charm went through, but it did not, so I had to get really desperate, and it did not pay off. Anyways, we get this Aqua Jet off on a Donphan right now, so we have a little bit of a Spice aficionado in our opponent right here. They go for the Play Rough. I guess if you're going to switch out, I guess that's the move to go with. Anyways, we do go for an X-Scissor on this Cresselia, which is a very curious swap by the opponent. They clearly must be core broken by this Golisopod here, so I decide to not shield it, which is very curious of myself. But we do get this nice little farm charm down here. Not before they throw a Moonblast here. We do tank that moderately poorly. But we do bank the energy, saving it, and we do have this Trailblaze now onto this Clefable. Our Mud Slaps are doing considerable damage now. It would be a good time to start shielding, and of course that's when the opponent decides to bait. But I think that, okay, they had a lot of energy, so we did correctly call the second Moonblast, and for that reason this should only be a Swift, which it is. And now we have this Trailblaze going into their Donphan, but we reach the next one before they get to another move, taking them out and getting that win. GG's. Alright. Shiny Heliolisk. Very cool looking Pokemon here. We assumed that they were running Volt Switch, but that would actually been a decent little matchup for us because they were running Mud Slap on the Heliolisk, which is my move of choice, preferably because I think it's so cool that you're an electric type throwing a ground move, which you happen to be weak to. Your only weakness, in fact, but I digress. Anyways, we're in this mid-game matchup with the Clefable. They go for Moonblast, which is unfortunate, but this allows us to get... Okay, we chickened out. We could have gotten a really big farm down, but we will take them out. No big deal. But anyways, they do come in now with their Heliolisk, and at this point I'm realizing that, you know, this is actually a pretty good matchup that I would want to stay in, just so long as I shield up the parabolic charges. So we do shield it up, and then we get them very low, and they have a Zapdos now. So they're running an ABA electric team. Very cool. But we did catch the Drill Peck on the Raichu here, and this is a fantastic time to have Charm because They can have all the shields in the world, but it will not matter. And they go for the Thunderbolt right here. We do not want to risk them farming us down, unfortunately, which it would have worked, but we did get a shield in the process. Farming them down now that they are debuffed. And now we have the Aqua Jet ready to go against the other electric type on their team. GG's. Alright. So really fun, spicy team. I'm sure they were pleased to see some other people just not using Giratina, Credilli, Swampert, you name it. Anyways, speaking of meta, here we got a Belly Bolt here. And we're going to go ahead and catch this move right here. And as soon as I saw them throw, I knew we caught it because they only have electric type charge moves. So this is definitely not a matchup they want to be in. In fact, their parabolic charges are only giving us more farm. So thank you so much, Belly Bolt user. We're going to go ahead now and throw on good timing here with the Trailblaze, and it is good timing since they're running Acid, which is a 2-turn move as opposed to Bullet Seed. So this is fantastic for us. All we have to do is just no shield it because we knew the Rock Tomb was coming and we resist that. So we save our shields now for Golisopod here. They shield this up, and now we can finally start using our shields here. Again, giving us more of a farm down. They switch out into their Samurott. Very cool pick. As you've seen from my recent video, I became a fan of Samurott recently, or at least in the Shadow variant. Before that, I was never really a fan, but we do survive the Hydro Cannon, so we are calling all the baits here, all the resisted moves, and we're going to go for a Charm Down of the Water type, and then we Charm Down the Credilli. Let's go. GG's. Alright. So we have now a Shadow Tentacruel in the lead here. And this is a very tricky matchup for us, especially since we're running Charm on the Raichu. Otherwise, I would have safe swapped already. But we're going to chill in this matchup here, and thank goodness they don't have Sludge Wave. That would have been catastrophic. At this point, since they dumped their energy, I decided to safe swap and pressure them into throwing some moves before they switch out, giving us valuable farm and Mud Slap damage on the Tentacruel. And that Play Rough does massive damage to the Malamar here, so at this point, Donphan has done its job. Either way, we survive this move. They only go for a superpower, so that gives us even a quicker farm down and taking only one charge move in the process. And then they have a Gudra here, and this is why we have Charm. Let's go. But they come back in now with the Tentacruel. At this point, I'm throwing a move here, which they should shield. They do. Can we get that Charm down? No, not before they throw a move here. We do let it through, unfortunately, so we're trying to be judicious with our last shield here. We do get a nice resisted farm down, and that allows us to get this move off right here. They have to shield it. Oh, they don't. And so at this point now we can just go for the farm down, and giving us an opportunity to safely shield this. In fact, this Fury Cutter might have already gone through. Oh, they had the move. Taking us out, but we Mud Slapped them down for the win. GG's. Anyways, next matchup, we got a Belly Bolt in the lead, so not the worst thing. Since we're doing such great damage with our Fury Cutters, and I think they're actually running Thunder Shock, which is horrible for us. Yep, they already got to the move, so they're running Thunder Shock, so very unfortunate circumstance for us, but the good news is that we can still do this. Let's go. Alright, and so now they're not switching out. I don't understand the logic there, but anyways, that gave us nice farm, so that way we can throw in good timing here against the Weezing and get this boosted Mud Slap damage on them. We're gonna let the Play Rough through, and we actually get the farm down, so we preserve our last shield, and they got a Zygarde here. Remember, we got our attack boosted. Do they let it through? Oh, they shielded up. Come on, man, but look at these charms go. Who would have ever thought you'd see a Raichu charming down a Zygarde here? Of course they get the debuff. I should have let that one through, because now the next Bulldoze is going to take us out, but they decide to switch out, preserve the energy, and throw a move here. Does take us out because of the debuff from the Bulldoze, but that's okay. We want to get rid of this Belly Bolt, and they actually let it through, and we should be fine here. They got Outrage, we survive it, but we get to the move before they get to another move and or farm us down, getting that win. GG's. So MVP, Charm Raichu in that circumstance. Anyways, Shiny Lapras in the lead here. We're going to go ahead and get this X-Scissor off. They must be weak to Golisopod in the back since they're staying in this matchup. And they let us get to this next one here, so they must be going for a Skull Bash, or at least trying to bait it. But I will not get Skull Bashed again, I promise you. They got Ice Beam, so that just did not make sense. Sparkling Aria is the more energy efficient move to use in that circumstance. I feel like I've said in that circumstance like a dozen times in a row, but anyways, I didn't want to take another move to the face here, so I do take them out, preserving some health on the Golisopod, and I'm glad I did because they have a Skeledirge in the back, and we need to get this shield right here. And now we're going to vacate into the Donphan here, showing us their Virizion in the back. Let's see if we can... Yep, they got Leaf Blade again. Of course, it's when you have like a flying dragon type, like of course they don't have Leaf Blade and they got, you know, Sacred Sword and Stone Edge, but you know, that's just how the game works, I guess. Anyways, Raichu here now, able to take any one move, and I'm back to running Thunder Shock, so this would have been a great time to have Charm, but go figure. Anyways, this does give us a bigger farm down now, but we had to get a catch first on the Golisopod, but now we can get this huge farm down here, throwing on good timing here with the Skeledirge, getting the last shield, and we throw on a CMP tie. Is the surf enough? No. Sadness ensues. But anyways, really cool matchup. GG's. Alright. Anyways, now we are into this Belly Bolt right here. I have to go back and look. Did I have Trailblaze? Could I have like Trailblaze baited and then gone for the surf? I don't know, but I don't want to pause the video and go back and look. Anyways, those thoughts that keep you up at night. Anyways, Shiny Virizion again. As you can see, the meta is kind of stale at the moment, or at least two months ago. Now we have the Community Day Air Cutter Corviknight that's going to wreak havoc for the foreseeable future. Actually, I think it's getting nerfed, so never mind. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and shield this up right here. It is only a Leaf Blade, but that will do considerable damage regardless. What does the opponent come in with? They have a Tentacruel here, so we're going to go ahead and switch into the Raichu here, and we're just going to go ahead and start firing off these Surfs. They decide to shield early on before they get their Parabolic Charge defensive boosts. You know the deal. You've seen this all season. But the question is, can these Surfs do enough? It gets them to a... maybe with the Thunder Shocks. Okay, they decide to throw. We're going to go ahead and shield this up, though. And we're going to switch now into the Golisopod. And they make a catch, anticipating that we were going to throw. But that is okay, because they have a lot of health and need to be dealt with accordingly. So we're getting these Aqua Jets off before they go for any sort of Scald and debuff our attack here. They have Blizzard. Okay, so they get us nice and low, threatening a very savage farm down, but we do get another Aqua Jet off, and can we get this farm down? No. And we would have had the move ready to go for the Belly Bolt. GG's. Alright. Ampharos in the lead now, so we are here, and this would have, again, have been a nice time to have Charm, but you really don't want to be safe swapping a Charm Raichu into anything, really. But this Surf does a lot of damage, okay, and we did a lot of damage already to the opponent, so we can let this move through. I was hoping we would survive the Thunder Punch, but that's just asking for too much. But anyways, we do get this farm down before they get to any other moves, and they got a Lapras, and this is not the a bad matchup like you would think. Ground type going into a Water Ice type with those neutral non-stab Psywaves. They really don't do much. We just have to shield up the charge moves here. And we're getting these super effective Trailblazes off at a pretty decent pace. And look at these Mud Slaps go. We just got to shield up again. And I think we can farm them down before they get to another move. They come in now with the Ampharos, realizing this reality here. But we were able to throw in good timing here. So now we are triple boosted. I wanted to see how much a triple boosted Mud Slap would have done, but I thought that they might have been at the Trailblaze already, and I didn't want to lose the Donphan. So, you know, that's where my reasoning was going. But anyways, we do take them out, and they top left. GG's. All right, second to last battle. Trevenant here, and this is kind of a tricky matchup because we're both doing neutral stab damage, and it's going to come down to, do we call the bait or do we shield the nuke? We shield the nuke. All right, perfect. So now we're able to take this energy into the Golisopod here, getting them to about halfway. We can tank any one move from them right now, even if it is an Aerial Ace. My goodness, that will be getting nerfed next season. So good news. Anyways, we do catch that aerial ace on the Raichu, and now we can go ahead and tank this Aqua Jet here, which we would not have been able to do if they had thrown an Aqua Jet prior to that. But now we have energy into this Trevenant here, waiting to throw our move before we debuff our defense by 2 stages, getting the 1 shield. And now we can go ahead for this Wild Charge here, getting the 2nd shield. So Raichu really putting in the work right there, and then we have the move ready to go to get this Trevenant out. That way their energy goes to waste, and they've got a Samurott. Yikes. Question is, can we survive this? We're going to go ahead and shield this up. And the next question is, does this Trailblaze take them out? It does not. And they don't get to the move, and we take them out. GG's. Alright. Anyways, last battle here. We got a Steelix in the lead. Those Thunderfangs, man. Yeah, and Steelix is supposed to be really good next season too, so get used to it. Anyways, we got Jellicent here. Throwing the Shadow Ball, we are able to tank it with, not too bad actually. I think we tanked the Shadow Balls better than we tanked the Surfs, if that makes any sense. But anyways, we shield this up, getting this move off. Anyways, going for this Wild Charge here, taking them out, and then they are able to Thunderfang us down, which is not ideal. But what is more ideal is the fact that we have a Donphan in the back, and neither Pokemon on their team wants to see it. We go ahead and boost our Mud Slaps here, and their win condition is to hit us with an Overheat. We shield it up, and we're able to go for this farm down now, not before they get to a Brutal Swing, but that is double debuff, so we are good. And now it's just us and the Steelix here. We're going to go ahead and throw in good timing, get this Trailblaze off, getting it to half health. Our Mud Slaps are doing massive amounts of damage. They don't even have Earthquake, so we're looking really good here. And we're just going to go for this farm down here to save time, but the opponent wanted to delay the inevitable and actually have Earthquake. So then we decide to Fury Cutter them down for the win, showcasing the ability of the buffed Fury Cutters that was so iconic of this season. And those are all our battles. Thank you for watching, everyone. Sorry I've been, slacking on the videos these past, 2 weeks plus. A lot of life has happened since then, some good, some bad, but, that's what this is all about, really. And I think it's kind of iconic that, the new season is Tales of Transformation, because we go from the Delightful Days over to the Tales of Transformation. This can apply a number of ways to people, whether it's as simple as, the days of summer ending, the leaves wilting, fall coming in, or it could be something more memorable, like, transforming your ways, getting rid of old, toxic, negative habits, and, becoming a better person. Whatever the case may be, I think it's very symbolic, and, it's been tough to, come back to making full-length videos, just no time, heart, and energy, but I love you guys, and, that definitely wouldn't have felt right to have the season end without properly sending it off. And, it was my full first season as a content creator, and you guys have been making it a very smooth transition, very exciting, and there's a lot of new exciting updates coming up, so I definitely want to, take part in the next season and give you guys some really cool, unique content that you've hopefully come to trust this channel with. But I don't know when the next video will be, but there will be another one, there will be a next one, and one after that. But it's tough, but we're going to pull forward, and it's going to be a tale of transformation for all of us, and it's going to be positive, and it's going to be in the right direction. And thanks for joining along the ride this season, guys. Riding the waves with me, Surf, Raichu, Shaka, BRAH. The puns will still be there, and like I said, not sure when the next one will be, but there will be another one. So mahalo and ahoo wee hoo.